we must be clearing the entire IR because more returns have happened. I don't even know where to go from here. Just roll the thing. So we started the episode fantastic. Collision started with a bang with Moxley versus Anthony Bowens. And it was a Continental title eliminator match. And Bowens was out there, 1, to try and get a shot at the title, and 2, to prove to Hook that he can be part of the Ops. And it was fine. It was a good match. Bowens came out with the aggression, which was interesting to see because he's usually like kind of a goofy wrestler type of deal. Like, he was still throwing up the scissor signs and he's still like managing to make everything work. But on the flip side of that, he really did show another side of himself that we don't see often, if I think possibly ever. Maybe when he was pissed off at Max Caster and they were doing like that weird not a tag team, being a tag team like thing that was happening for a minute. But I digress. It was a really good match. Mox ended up getting the win. Which, by the way, during this match, we had a commercial break, and we got a WWE WrestleMania commercial. So that was very interesting. I'm not stepping on anybody's bag, dude. Like, HBO, take your money. Just know that we're also here. Don't let this become like a weird behind-the-scenes issue. So Mox got the win. Immediately after Mox got the win, Ospreay came running out and sliding into the ring, beat the crap out of Mox, got out of the ring, grabbed a chair, and as he was about to slide back into the ring, Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia slipped in, grabbed Mox, pulled him out, and then Ospreay grabbed a mic and was like, listen here, I'm not making this personal, but I am going to come after you as hard as I can, as often as I can, as long as I can. So, guess what, buddy? You should put that title on the line at the pay-per-view and put no people at ringside so that I get you for 20 minutes and I can do all the damage I can. Tony Khan, later in the afternoon, signed that into a thing. So it is going to be a Continental title match. It's going to be a great match. It is, I mean, those matches do only last 20 minutes, so I'm so curious to see if it lasts the whole 20 or if Ospreay really comes out with the heat of 1,000 suns and takes it in 5 minutes. I don't think it'll be 5 minutes. If it does run close to the full 20, it'll be like 18 minutes and 45 seconds, give or take 5 seconds, right? So anywhere from 1840 to 1850. That's my prediction for this. So from there, we moved immediately forward into a promo between Okada and Davis and Andrade. And Okada was like, Davis, you have to go out there and beat these guys because they had a match coming up. You have to go out there and beat these guys, and you have to do it for Fletcher because he is my best friend. And you, Andrade, you have to go out and show that what you're worth, what you're willing to do, because Fletcher is my best friend. And so go out there and beat those guys up. And they were having a match against the Rascals later. So that was a whole funny little thing. No problem with it, but Fletcher has an injury, so we're just going to have to take that and we're going to have to move it sideways a little bit because as soon as that was over, we got Mega Cross versus two people, Kristara and Ava Lawless. And it was very obviously a squish match. They got squeezed real hard, real fast. That was the whole thing. So that went real quick. Moxley came on and did a promo against Ospreay, and he was basically saying, like, hey, I told you not to make this personal. I thought I showed you yesterday, the Wednesday night show on Dynamite, what can happen to you by your own doing. But, I mean, if you really want to make it go this direction, fine. I'm game. Let's go. Moved right through that one. Then the Hurt Syndicate are back. Bobby Lashley is no longer injured. We can go back to hurting people and having a fun time. And apparently, according to MVP, they're looking to expand their ranks and they are looking to get new blood in the business. So we're just going to have to keep our eye on that, see who he starts handing business cards out to. Yeah. that's it. That's about it. It's all good, man. So glad that Bobby's back. Glad that that's happening. I've been wondering where the hell the Hurt Syndicate has been lately. So let's move on to the next thing. Willow Nightingale came out for her open challenge for the TBS title. And who did we have here? Hikaru Shida's back. And she doesn't look like she's got a lot of ring rust on her. It's been like 500 days since she's been in an AEW ring. The match was really good. There was a lot of back and forth. Shida was really showing her stuff as far as like what she could still do. Kind of just making sure that everything is running correctly. And Willow ended up with the win, which made Hikaru kind of angry, and she like slipped to the other side of the ring and grabbed her kendo stick and was like, she was gonna do it. She was gonna hit Willow in the back, and then she didn't. And that was that. So I don't know what else to say about it. They both do appear to have like some form of shoulder injury. Willow's got all the kinesio tape going, and then Hikaru Shida, underneath her gear, you can see the strap that comes across and then caps the shoulder and then runs across the back. So I don't know what is going on with the two of them, as far as like, hopefully it's something like that can't be continually dealt with. But at the same time, I do hope that they're both doing okay and that this doesn't turn into any other weirdness. Yeah, it's good stuff though. Good stuff. Happy that Sheeta's back. Maybe now we can push the women's division a little further, and get some good teams up against Megacross. Because God knows we need them. So after that, we had the second squish of the night, and it was FTR versus Mo Jabari and London Lightning. London Lightning. And it was a fine match. London and Mo seemed to be getting a little bit of an upper hand for a second, and then the whole thing ended with London standing there like looking down at all of the fallen bodies. Dax and Cash were playing possum, and Dax like slapped Landon, which made him like spin the other direction, and then they both popped up, and as soon as London like finished his little spin, they hit him with the Shatter Machine. 1, 2, 3, done. And so their music hit. They were like, yay. Big Stoke was like, yay. And then, whose music hit? Ooh, Christian Cage. Christian Cage music hit. And it did the countdown. And number 1 now is no longer father. It says asshole. And big, bold fucking letters on the Tron. So that was so good. By the way, FTR came out to the ring with like a security team to keep them safe. So Cage's music hit, Cope's music hit. They both came walking down with chairs. Security went after him. Security just got obliterated by the chairs. And then they got in the ring, and there was a brawl, and it was a very interesting brawl. And then Cope and Cage got the upper hand. And they threw, I believe it was Dax out of the ring, and they hung on to Cash, and they were going to hit Cash with the concerto. And then as soon as Christian was like gearing up to hit the concerto, Stoke slipped in from behind, grabbed the chair, yanked it out of his hands, and then literally slithered out of the backside of the ring. So that was interesting. So as they were figuring all that out, they managed to get Dax out of the ring, and then, they managed to get Cash out of the ring, and then the security, like a couple of them, came back to life somehow, and they jumped in the ring and they started doing their thing, and then one of them got an kill switch. That's what we're calling it now. Got a kill switch, and then they laid his scrawny security ass on the chair, and Christian hit him with a concerto. And this is to set up the pay-per-view for next weekend, and I am so excited. I am very excited. So keep all this in mind. It's going to be freaking awesome, and I cannot wait to see what else comes of it. So moving on from there, there was another promo with Mina Shirakawa and the Brawling Birds, and they were in the back, and it was more of a Jamie Hayter thing because she challenged Tekla to a match at the pay-per-view to prove that even though they are a tag team now, the Brawling Birds can still get down one-on-one. So that got signed in. So now we're going to have Jamie Hayter versus Tekla for the title at Dynasty. And that'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll see what happens with it. Mina was very mad, though. She was like, don't just beat her up. Beat the piss out of her. And it was a very silly little thing because Mina's always happy-go-lucky, and now she's got this like sour demeanor. So whatever, moving on. Following that, we had the Ciampa versus Juice match, which was really fun to watch because it looked like the two of them wanted this to be a grudge match of some form, but at the same time, they both like weren't going full anger toward the other one. It was just very much like them having the match to try and get the W on their record to push them farther in the company to go after titles or what have you, right? Ciampa ended up with the win. And he ended up with the win in a very strange combination of moves that finished everything off. So Juice was going to hit him, I believe, with some kind of like German suplex. Ciampa grabbed the referee, pulled her close, hit Juice with a low blow, let go of the referee, turned around, grabbed Juice, put him in the ropes, hit him with like a hanging DDT. That didn't work. Then they continued on for like another 30 seconds, and Juice got his power back, and Juice put Ciampa up on the top rope, and he gave him a Tower of Power bomb. He slipped in there, and he picked him up, and he went hoop-a-da-ba, and just big off the top turnbuckle power bomb. That was very fun. But then Ciampa flipped it back around, and he hit him with 2 running knees. 1, 2, 3. Ciampa got the victory. Ciampa is moving forward. Yeah. So now we come to a part where I hate the fact that I totally called this, because I totally called this, but Quinn from Private Party is out. We had a promo from Zay saying, like, just because my boy is on the shelf again doesn't mean that I can't continue on, so he's going to go on a solo run again, which is fine. It sucks that Quinn can't not get injured. He's only been back for this amount of time. We followed that up with a little post-Dynamite package from Darby, basically saying, like, I'm going to go after Andrade. I'm going to beat the shit out of him. This is like my destiny. I have to work my way up, and I'm going after the title. To which Brody King and Jack Perry stepped into the frame, and Brody was like, I know that we've done a lot of horrible stuff to each other, and that, like, you put me in a coffin. And then Jack Perry was like, yeah, you lit me on fire. And then Brody King was like, and I know that you and I don't really like each other, but we've been here for a while together, and I know that you had my back with this other stuff. And Jack Perry was like, yeah, and you lit me on fire. And so Brody King was like, but, like, I respect you. I get it. And then Darby was like, well, I know that we all kind of hate each other, but if I could use you for a night, I need you for a trios match on Wednesday. And everybody was just kind of like, cool. And then Darby walked off, and then King walked off, and then Perry started to walk off, and then he turned to the camera and he was like, he lit me on fire. And then he fucked off the other direction. So that was interesting. It's just goofy bullshit wrestling. I love it. Which then brought us to our almost end of the night match. It was a tag team match. It was Andrade and Davis versus Xavier and Wentz, and it was real good. Obvious animosity between the two teams, being from different factions, but also the history that the factions have against each other. So there was just carnage everywhere. The Don Callis family attacked before the bell. There was a lot of back and forth and kicking and punching and just taking each other out, which culminated in Andrade stopped Xavier from hitting a heat seeker from between the middle and bottom rope by just sticking his elbow up and getting him right in the face, and he splatted all over the floor. That was fascinating. Then he went and took more goddamn photos. I'm so tired of these goddamn photos. All these fucking photos, man. I can't. I hate it. I hate it so much. So Stop it. Just leave it alone. I'm very tired of this. Obviously, the Don Callis family got the win. It's just two big, strong boys against two lean, quick, agile boys. Like, that's just what we were doing. So, Don Callis family got the win. As soon as Andrade and Davis left the area, who decided to come out but Okada with RPG Vice? They stormed down to the ring. They started beating up the Rascals. And then I believe it was Wentz that they got to do more damage to him. And they were about to do something, some big like trios move, when Myron Reed showed back up. And Myron Reed showed back up with a vengeance and the quickness, because he cleared the ring of all three of them in about 37 seconds. It was amazing. It really showcased what he's able to do, and we need more Myron Reed. Thank you. This brings us to the end of the night. It was Connors, Finley, Yuta, and Claudio versus Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Mystico, and Kevin Knight. And it was a very interesting match because it was a tornado tag, so nobody had to tag. It was just who's ever in the ring is a legal person. Get it. We came back from the first commercial with Orange Cassidy getting the ever-loving pulp beat out of him by all four members of the opposing team. And then somehow everybody decided, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. And they figured it all out, and somehow Mystico and Knight ended up with the win. There was a moment there where everybody was just fighting in different spots and nobody knew what was going on. And then the dogs grabbed the conglomeration and they dragged them up the entry ramp and they disappeared into the back, and it became just a tornado tag team match. And it was weird. Mystico had Claudio in a submission move. Knight did his UFO splash off the top rope over them onto Yuta. 1, 2, 3. That was the whole shindig and ordeal. So, fun, interesting, strange. Very strange. I think I have to give match of the night to Ciampa and Juice. It was just so entertaining. It was so hard-hitting. Everybody was doing their part, and it worked so well. And plus, we got Ciampa getting the victory, so we can move him forward, and we can do whatever we need to do with him to get more gold around his waist. So, take the win, Ciampa, and we're just going to move on from there. So, no videos for me until next Wednesday. Sorry this one came out a little late. I was having some issues, but I got it. We're all good. I'll see you Wednesday, and then we are so close to the pay-per-view. I cannot wait for Dynasty, especially Deities at Dynasty. That's going to be such a good match, and I can't wait to maybe play a drinking game. I don't know. We'll see. But you guys have a great night. Great rest of your weekend, 3-day weekend. Woot woot. And then we'll just, like I said, we'll just see you Wednesday. So, peace. Flip it and reverse it.